One of the designer's most basic visual tools is the distinction between symmetry and asymmetry.
You may be surprised to discover how much you can enhance your work by harnessing this powerful distinction. Ellen, you love symmetry. Tell us why.
Many natural organisms are symmetrical. Look at me. I'm symmetrical. My arms and legs keep me balanced. A leaf grows outward in a symmetrical pattern. The arms of a starfish radiate out from the center. That's called radial symmetry. Symmetrical layouts are inherently stable and balanced, and that's why designers for centuries have gravitated towards centered layouts. So in a symmetrical design, I should be able to draw a line top to bottom and it's the same on either side. Or I could draw a line through the center and it's the same above and below. But Jennifer, I know you love asymmetry. Tell us about that.
I think that symmetry is more inherently understandable because we can all relate as human beings that are symmetrical to that principle. But you may be wondering, what exactly is asymmetry? Asymmetry in design really is distributing elements so that moving them around until they really do feel balanced. So that really is a matter somewhat of intuitive perception. Nature's full of asymmetry. A mountain has balance even though its volumes are irregular. Modern architects unlocked the power of asymmetry. This building was designed by Le Corbusier in 1925. It has a tree growing up through the courtyard. These album cover designs are asymmetrical. The flush left type anchors the compositions toward the left, but there's enough activity on the right to keep each design balanced. These layouts by Rick Valicenti feature asymmetrical distribution. The layouts feel alive yet balanced. When we use the term dynamic or dynamic asymmetry, what we're really referring to is design that really moves and changes. Design in which the viewer's eye is actively moved around and through a design.
Symmetrical layouts can be dynamic too. You can vary the size of the elements, or you can crop them on the page in a way that suggests tension and movement and growth. Centered type seems like a very traditional composition, but here the designer has created centered type, but also introduced drama by shattering the type, by making it large, by pushing it together, compressing the line spacing. So the composition may be centered, but it's very active. This design consists of a central cross created out of typography. And then there is a burst of type, a disruption of type on the left side that upsets that perfect symmetry of the design. A layout in a book or a magazine is always symmetrical because of that strong central spine down the middle. Here, designer Paul Sayre has positioned a series of photographs right through that spine, right through the center of the book. And he's also created typography that plays very actively with the spine of the book. So these are symmetrical designs, but they're doing it in a way that's very active and dynamic. Here's a web design that has a very strong central axis. It's yellow on one side and white on the other. And the designer has taken his web design and applied it to a print publication. Inside the book, there's a little half sheet of yellow that becomes a kind of book within the book. So it's very centered, but it's also dynamic and playful. It engages the reader.
Symmetry is not always an either-or decision. In this poster series, some solutions are strongly symmetrical and some are asymmetrical. In every case, the designer has introduced tension and movement through contrasting colors, shapes, and patterns.
So here's a tool, symmetry versus asymmetry. It's basic, it's universal. You can look at any piece of design and ask, is it the same left and right, or is it different? I love symmetry. Symmetry is balanced. It makes sense. It relates to so many things in nature. But as a designer, we have to harness it in a creative and dynamic way, not just a dumb thing right in the middle.
And I love asymmetry because for me, asymmetry really energizes the page by encouraging the viewer's eye to move all the way organically through the page in a much more exciting way.